Hello everyone, you are in the AutoCraft shop and today we will be repairing a Volkswagen Multivan after a birch fell on it. Volkswagen received these damages due to a combination of curious circumstances. The owner bought a new Multivan and in the third month after the purchase, his friends persuade him to go fishing although he himself is not a fisherman and this activity is alien to him, but friends insisted and had to go. Arriving at the place of fishing found that there is a river, a field and a lone tree. Naturally no one was going to leave the car in the field, they put it near the tree. They collected fishing rods, boats and went to the river. After we settled down almost immediately it began to rain and thunder, a strong wind blew. Quickly collecting things everyone ran to the car but the birch tree was already lying on the roof of the car with its crown. The car was not insured against natural disasters. So after fishing friends went home without fish and the owner went to our workshop to repair the car at his own expense. Repair as always, we start from the most damaged place. We try to push up the reinforcement above the sliding door, slightly up to see if the gap between the door and the top panel changes. It was possible to more or less align the reinforcement on the body side, but the panel did not go up or out. It became clear that the hydraulic stretch had to be set at a different angle of about 45 degrees to pull the panel in the right direction. We put the hydraulics and slowly push. Having pushed the reinforcement to the side and upwards, gradually changing the position of the hydraulics, we press the trough itself upwards, also aligning the transverse reinforcement. Having achieved the result that we needed, by raising the trough, straightening more or less transverse reinforcement, we cut out the trough. Carefully, a little with a margin, leaving the places where the trough is attached to the body, since we will separate them later. We cut the trough in pieces so it will be easier to dismantle it. Having removed the two main sheets, we proceed to drilling the back. We mark the places of drilling with a core. We drill holes not through and through. Where there is no space, use a grinder or drill. Cut metal with a chisel. We cut with a grinder and remove the remaining piece of the roof and go to the front. Using a grinder with a brush, remove the adhesive sealant. Drill out the welding spots. With a heat gun we heat the places where the roof is glued with sealant and tear off the last pieces of the roof. We proceed to the dismantling of the remaining side pieces from the body. The roof on the multivan is laser welded. This is a continuous weld. It goes from the windshield to the trunk lid. Laser welding just passes along this edge, that is, the roof is welded along its side edge. We cut the remains of the roof by 20 to 25 centimeters and bending them up and down with a hammer easily separate these pieces from the body. In fact, laser welding is quite easy to dismantle from the body. It's about the roof. One gets the impression that classic electric rivets are more reliable, but I think the designers at the Volkswagen plant know better than we do. After the trough was removed, we got good access to the sidebar. We need to push the edge up. We are trying to do this with the help of a spotter. Having welded, we pull the panel up, but everything comes off. We weld a second time, but something also went wrong. Apparently we did something wrong. And only from the third time, it is noticeable in the video, we have ensured that the panel rises up and becomes even. In the rear part, the roof is welded with copper along the vertical seams. I tried to remove it with a drill, but the copper clogs the grindstone. Here is a trough that came to us from Poland, sealed in a light rack pallet. Soft pillows were laid in the corners and one on top of the roof. In perfect condition. Not many spare parts generally come to us without damage, but here it is so lightly packed and such a large detail, and they brought not only without dents, even without scratches. I must say right away that a trough from Poland costs within $4,000, delivery within 2 to 3 weeks. 4 of us put the trough on the body. 3 of them put the trough. The 4th passes the cable for the back door in the back. The cable for the trunk lid is 1. With all the electrical wires, it comes from the engine compartment and is not separated anywhere, so it gives us a lot of inconvenience and will subsequently interfere with painting. Although everything is assembled according to factory dimensions, we put a windshield in the windshield opening, just in case. After making sure that everything is normal, we take out the glass and start working with the windshield opening. Having drilled and exposed the roof to the factory dimensions, we begin to weld. To protect from sparks, all glass was pasted over with paper. The torpedo was covered with 3 layers of tarpaulin. After we have made weld points around the entire perimeter of the roof, we weld the joints completely. We do not weld with a continuous seam but make short seams of 1.5 to 2 cm with an interval of approximately 3 cm. Repairing this car with similar damage, despite its apparent simplicity, is actually very difficult, especially in garage conditions. Working with van requires space. The height of the ceiling does not allow the master to climb high enough, and the sides are also cramped. This is first. Secondly, there is a lot of complex collapsible work. A lot of panels, bulbs, buttons. It's still a multivan. With a Caravella I think it would be easier. And thirdly, the high cost of a car imposes a high responsibility on the master. After welding, before painting, install the windshield and rear door. We glue the internal reinforcement with sealant to the roof. Now you can see that the reinforcement that is above the right sliding door is in the correct size. It is raised and squeezed out a little bit. Now the right reinforcement, like the left one, is also in the same line. The windshield lies tightly around the entire perimeter. The transverse reinforcement is all flat. On the roof the welding seams are cleaned and treated with an wash primer. The car is going to paint. This is the end result of our work. This is how the junction of the new roof and body looks like. It is prime smeared with sealant and painted. Now the car has moved to a soundproofing specialist. He will insulate both the body and the skin in 3 layers. The interior will be assembled only after its work. And our work is finished. Friends, I remind you that we are trying to shoot interesting videos for you, and you in turn press something under the video, write comments, and do not forget to subscribe. We are starting the repair of the next car. See you soon.